Hi there again from the Hermitage in Johannesburg. On this fourth Sunday of Advent, we look at God's plan for my life. Promises, promises. The big wedding is off. Now what? How to control the situation? Perhaps a trip to a distant cousin for a quick abortion or an arranged adoption. Disgrace and dishonor of the family name can easily lead to financial ruin. What to do? Mary has no status in society or in law, and the decisions to be taken are all in the hands of the man, Joseph. Joseph has a plan. We always have a plan. After all, that is the responsible way. God, however, has another way, but following the ways of dreams and angels, maybe not. King Ahaz in Jerusalem, descendant of King David of the kingdom of Judah, has a problem. He is consumed with the complex realities of international diplomacy and a host of worldly worries, cares and burdens. He is preparing for war and is searching for a strong alliance to defeat his enemies. And so he turns to the Assyrians, a strong pagan nation that we would refer to today as one of the superpowers. Isaiah the prophet warns Ahaz of impending disaster if he continues with this alliance, with his plan. And the prophecy and promise is made by Isaiah. The maiden is with child and will soon give birth to a son, whom she will call Emmanuel, a name that means God is with us. The maiden refers to the Ahaz's wife, but Ahaz knows no time for this and continues with his own plans. As has been foretold, Assyria eventually does turn from defender and protector to colonizer, and the kingdom of Judah comes to an end. In our Gospel, Matthew sees this prophecy of Isaiah as being fulfilled 800 years later at the birth of Jesus to the Virgin Mary. Often in our lives we also face difficulties, problems, difficult decisions like Ahaz and Mary and Joseph that require a plan, an unplanned pregnancy, being made redundant, a public embarrassment, an unfavorable medical diagnosis, events that come our way so that we are forced to seek another option, a second opinion. What does it mean to have trust in the promise God is with us? For those of us who have lived long lives, any review of our journey will probably reflect either regret at those paths we have ignored, those loves we have denied, wonderful opportunities we let go by, because we stuck to our own plan, to our own agenda. How often do we look at our plans and ambitions in review of the ages of our story as God's human family? Then there is the other side of this review, where we never thought at first how things could be, would be, how very different from the original plan that I had in my mind for my future. An acknowledgement that God's plan has made me happier, more fulfilled than I could ever have imagined. And so we have the two examples set before us. Ahaz, who thought that his own plan B, ignoring God's promise and plan for the future, would bring security and happiness. And then we have Mary and Joseph, who align themselves with God's plan rather than their own desires and aspirations, so that the promise of God with us becomes a reality. Am I so busy with my own plans to control my environment, my family, abilities and status, or am I aligning myself with God's plan for my life? Do I trust God's plan in time will be more and better than anything I could think of, to ask for or imagine? God told the prophet Jeremiah, "For surely I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future and a hope. Then when you call upon me and come and pray to me, I will hear you." And as Isaiah says today, the Lord himself will give you a sign. It will be a sign to remind us that God is indeed with us. What is God's plan for your life? What is God calling you to do? Isaiah is telling us today that God will give you a sign to remind us that God is with us always. The Lord grant you peace.